What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be working on my beloved dream E30 build. Now today is the first day that I'll actually be starting the actual physical work on the car. So up until this point, we have gone up to Boston to pick up the E30. I went with my buddy Nick. Okay, so it's 11:11 and we're picking up the new project from Joe. Joe, thank you for giving me your project. He's had this car since 2016 and he drove it in here and he made sure that it didn't leave. So it is a full rolling shell. There's no motor, there's no trans, there's no diff, just a ratchet strap. All right, so we just got the E30 loaded up. We brought the car back here and then it's been sitting outside now for the last 2 months. This side of my garage has been kind of filled with extra things. And so I needed to get that sorted. Now the E30 is in the garage as of about 2 hours ago. Basically the idea of it is to create a car that I could turnkey, drive comfortably every single day if I want to, put some of my camera equipment in it to go to jobs and stuff, or I could go and take it on an autocross, or I could also slide the car. I want to be able to really have a fully versatile car. For me, I think the E30 chassis is perfect. So we're going to be pulling both subframes, reinforcing everything, reinforcing the shock tower, because this car was originally only intended for 120 horsepower. It can handle a whole bunch more, but the plan is to put an S54 in this. I already actually have a 420G 6-speed that I got from my buddy Matt, and we also have already picked up a 346 Torsen LSD out of an automatic Z3. There's a few other parts laying around right now already that I've gathered. I was able to find a yellow tag ZHP rack, which I already have assembled with new tie rods. And an easy way to mark how long this takes me is today's January 1st of 2024. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I get this done by the time that I take it down to Helen in May. So I'm giving myself 5 months to get this whole thing done. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm gonna be stripping the subframe down to the core today. Now, we need to reuse the subframe and we need to reuse the factory spindles. So we'll need to also break apart the factory welds that hold these struts in place. And we'll also be taking apart everything included all the way down to the bearing. So we are slowly kind of working at it. The front spindles are off now. These are gonna be reused because I need to reuse the core of it. So down here, our spindle, I'll need to reuse that, but we're gonna be, unfortunately, to get everything off. I have to do the sway bar and control arms, and then we've got our front subframe. All right, so just like that, we've got our front subframe completely stripped apart and down to its core. So now we'll be ready to send that off to get reinforced after the garagistic plates come in. Now really the next step is going to be getting our rear subframe out of the car. Now in my case, this is a 1984 car. The 1984 and 1985 E30's got a drum rear brake for those that may not know. So you can't reuse the trailing arm. The whole rear trailing arm is different. Now I technically could go and just get a set of trailing arms, but I locally was able to find a full dropout. Now the good part about this dropout is that it already also has poly bushings in it. Now I'm not gonna be reusing the bushings, but I'm gonna be replacing them. Why am I saying that that's a good thing, even though I'm gonna be replacing them? Because when you have the factory rubber, you have to burn them out, and usually pressing them out is not a simple task. So somebody already did the hard work prior. I'll just have to be pulling these ones out and replacing them. So with the front subframe completely disassembled and our rear subframe now completely disassembled, I feel like this is a good time to kind of stop this episode, and we'll pick up next episode when we reinforce the subframes, paint them, and rebuild them with all new components. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I'm looking forward to moving forward with this build. Obviously, we are in the very early stages, but in no time, I think that we'll have this car back on the ground with an S54 and a 6-speed in it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, within our 5-month time span, we'll have this thing ready to go and driving down to the tail of the dragon. But until next time, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.